A very pleasant day to each and every one of you, and welcome to a very special segment. In our studios, we have Amanda Sohan. She is an author and a writer, and she's here to tell you about the launch of her new picture book. And of course, we will learn a little bit more about Amanda and who she is. So Amanda, welcome to Caribbean Spotlight.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and we're certainly very excited that you have launched this wonderful picture book that's titled The Slipper.
Yes.
But now, before we talk about the book, we wanted to ask you and to actually have you enlighten our viewers a little bit about you, who you are, and say a little bit about your family, your upbringing. So by the end of this interview, our viewers will get to learn a little bit more about Amanda Sohan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Danuja, for having me. My parents are from British Guyana. I also have a sister, Rowena, and a daughter, Devin, and my husband, who's also in the studio. And I've been writing for a very, very long time. And they've been encouraging it since I was a very little girl. And I finally had the opportunity to self-publish now that that's been brought about. And I'm very excited about the entire venture.
Great, wonderful. Well, Rowena, your sister actually
Yes.
contacted me
Yes.
and asked that I do, if I would kind of make myself available to interview you.
Yes.
And of course, I was very thrilled to do so because with your talent, I feel that our people should know more about you and be able to purchase your book, which we're going to delve into in just a moment. I've also met your parents quite a few times, very lovely people. Do you want to give them a shout out?
Yes. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. They're amazing.
And their names so that our viewers know.
My dad's name is Gene Ryan Harry, and my mother's name is Nazmoon Harry.
Yeah, well, they're very ardent fans of Caribbean Spotlight and
They
all its
certainly
programs. And we want to just thank you folks for watching and being such ardent fans. But I wanted to ask you, Amanda, do you recall, what spurred your interest in starting to write?
Yes. My sister and I, we read all of the time, voraciously. The library was a few blocks away, and we practically lived in the library. So that's pretty much how I got started with the reading.
Interesting. Well, they always say that a student or an individual who reads from an early age, is just very scholarly, and vocab comes naturally,
Yes.
and your imagination just flows. I remember growing up, I used to read a lot too, and I as soon as my mom outs the light, I would be picking up the book from under the pillow and just continuing reading.
We did that too. We
So
snuck and did
I can
that too.
understand your passion for reading. I absolutely can. Now let's talk a little bit about the book, this
Yes.
picture book that you are launching, which is why we've invited Amanda onto the show. It's called The Slipper, and it's very picturesque, and it's a picture book. So Amanda, just enlighten our viewers a little bit about what the book entails. What's the storyline about?
Well, the storyline is about a young lady who actually falls in love with someone her parents consider very unsuitable. And it kind of goes off in a very unpredictable direction from that point. But I felt the story was pretty common among Indians and West Indians, so it was fairly easy to write about. And it was a fun write.
Well, what's so beautiful, I love the animation, and maybe, Vichy, you can zoom up a little bit on the animation here if you can. It's just very animated and very well, I'm dropping all my papers, and just very well suited for even younger readers. But I think I have to make the time to read the book, and I will. And I as I mentioned to you, I'm going to read it to my granddaughter as well.
Thank you so much.
She's only 4 months old, but I plan to do that. But what inspired you to really have it in animation like this?
Well, I grew up with, like I said, a lot of books, but none with characters that looked like me or, my family or Indian characters at all. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to launch a picture book for children,
Right.
I'd want it to be something they could relate to, our children, because everyone else is quite represented.
But you would say an adult can pick this book up and enjoy reading it as
Oh,
well.
absolutely, because I mean the story, my opinion, is riveting. It's very unpredictable, which makes it interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know, as you read each page by page, you'll be in suspense, I guess.
Yes.
And suspense is
Absolutely.
what keeps you reading a book until the end.
Yes.
And so we're so excited about the launch of this book, The Slipper. And in fact, you're going to be having a special celebration at Mingles.
I am.
So maybe you can tell our viewers and invite them to come out.
Oh, absolutely. It's a launch for not just The Slipper, but also for my other works. And Tanuja, you have kindly decided that you would moderate it for us, and
Yes.
we're thrilled, of course, that you would do
My
that for
pleasure.
us. It's definitely our pleasure, and I'll be talking about this book. I'll be talking about the upcoming book, Him, my blog, and I'll get to know my hopefully new audience during that time.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for you to come out and meet Amanda Sohan, you know, a new author and writer in our community, and she's definitely going places. The Slipper is available on Amazon for purchase, and the day of the launch is October 11th. It's going to be from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Mingles, which is located on 101 Avenue in Richmond Hill. The address is up on the screen. And this book will be there if you'd like to purchase it. And also Amanda will be autographing the books for you. But do come out and really get to know her and chat with her. And as she mentioned briefly, she has a novel that's coming out.
I do.
That's going to be titled Him. And I think that's an interesting title for a book.
Yes.
So we're just waiting to see what that book and novel is all about. But it's a great opportunity for you to come out and meet Amanda and get to know her and really spend a wonderful afternoon with her. And we're expecting a lot of people to come out. So please do so. Well, Amanda has launched her new picture book, her very first book, and it's titled The Slipper, which is available at Amazon. So you just, in the search box, just type in her name, Amanda Sohan. The correct spelling is on the screen. And then you look for The Slipper and do purchase it. It's a wonderful book that you can actually read to your grandchildren or your children and really have lots of fun. And more importantly, you're supporting one of our own Guyanese West Indian authors, more importantly. Now, Amanda, let me ask you this question. Who is your intended audience for this book? And why do you feel that someone should pick up this book and want to read it?
Well, my targeted audience is children from the ages 9 to 12. And I think they should read it because it has a very important lesson, especially for girls, which is not really talked about, you know, in our community. And I think it's very important for them to read that. I don't want to give it away quite yet, but that is really why I wrote it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it keeps everyone that's watching in suspense and wanting to pick up the book and buy it and read it for sure. Now, is there a message in your book here that you want your readers to grasp? If you could describe that message in just a sentence, what would that message be?
That your future is not set because of your present circumstances. That would be, in a nutshell,
Great.
the message.
Yeah, well, that's a very big message in one sentence, that's for sure. Now, again, the launch celebration event is October 11th at Mingles on 101 Avenue, and it commences from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There are going to be hors d'oeuvres and I guess soft drinks being served.
Absolutely.
And more importantly, it's a celebration of Amanda Sohan on the launch of her first picture book, The Slipper. Now, Amanda, is there something that you'd like to say about the upcoming novel that you are actually in process of writing, which is titled Him? What is it you can tell our viewers about this novel? Because this is going to be one of your big features.
It is,
right?
Yes. It's entitled Him, and it's an adult fictional novel. It's definitely not for children, but it is. I don't want to say who the him is. It's kind of something you discover while reading the book, but it's an interesting read that has parts of my life, parts of my friends, a lot of made up stuff, but it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
I would love
I'm
to hear
sure.
people's take on it.
And when do you expect to launch this novel, Him?
Probably in about 2 months.
Okay.
I'm in the process of editing it. It's already written.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is edit it and then actually send it to a professional editor and then publish it.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we're going to hear more from Amanda as she launches that book as well, him. Can you share a little bit about your current and your, well, we just asked you to share some of the current and upcoming work with us. Besides, writing as one of your passions, what else do you enjoy doing?
Well, I love old movies. Old movies is a huge passion of mine because it's it's so important, the dialogue in old movies. There's not a whole lot of special effects. You know, it's just about the dialogue and the relationships that people have with each other and exploiting that and exploring that. And I really
Now, are you
love
talking
that.
about old Bollywood movies or old movies in general?
Old movies in general
That has a storyline.
that has a storyline.
Drama.
Yes, drama.
Drama.
Absolutely. I love drama.
The word drama.
Writing about it, not actually living it.
Well, I think we all have some drama in our
We
lives
do.
in
You're
some
absolutely
shape,
right.
form, or fashion, right?
Yes.
So to write about
absolutely.
it, it's not a bad thing.
No, no, it's not. It could be fun.
Exactly. So, what can readers who enjoy this book that you've just launched, The Slipper, what is it they can do to help make it successful for you?
Well, I think the most important thing they could do is to spread the word if they like it to family and friends that might be interested in purchasing it, reading it. It's available on Kindle as well as a hard copy, so you can even share it.
Oh, so great! It's on
Yeah,
Kindle. That's
yeah.
wonderful. Okay.
So it's on both formats.
Okay.
So that would probably be amazing.
And how much is the book going for on Amazon, whether it's Kindle or a hard copy of the book?
The Kindle is $7.95 and the hard copy is $15.95. But if you have Prime, it's much cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's say if someone wanted to buy, bulk, bulk, to place an order of a bulk set of books. Let's say an idea would be these are perfect books to send to like the schools in Guyana or even the orphanages or lots of orphanages in Guyana that I personally visit, and it'll be books that the young girls there can read, or even in schools, like just the library in Guyana. If you wanted to donate a few copies to the library, that's another great
That is, yes.
idea as well. So if they wanted to purchase a bulk supply, can they contact you directly?
Absolutely. Absolutely they can. I could get it to them at cost.
Okay.
And they can have it whenever they want it.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea if you
Yeah,
if you
that
can
is a
do
great
that,
idea.
or even like
Absolutely.
you have young girls in your family and their birthdays are coming up. Even Christmas is around the corner. I think it's a great Christmas gift to give to a youngster, and just get them into reading. And it's very picturesque. It has beautiful pictures, as you can see. Very beautifully animated, and I think they will really enjoy reading this. So it's a perfect Christmas gift. And again, if you're from Guyana or Trinidad and you're watching, you can purchase a bulk supply from Amanda directly at cost, and you'll be able to send those books to Guyana or Trinidad for distribution. So I think you should, kind of act on that quickly while supplies last. Now, I wanted to ask you, as an empowered woman, as an educated woman, we've been hearing so much about abuse, domestic violence, verbal
Yes.
abuse in homes right here in New York. What can you say to someone who's watching our show right now that needs to be inspired by someone like you?
That's going through something like that.
That's going through something, yeah. You as an empowered, woman.
I think I would just tell them to pray, seek the counsel of someone who can help them extricate themselves from that situation. It's just not healthy to stay in that situation. And they really should do everything they can to believe in themselves, because I know in that situation no one else does.
Right.
But God is never out of your corner.
His
So-
ears are never deaf.
No, never. So that would be my first resource. And my second would be to seek help outside of
Not
that.
to be scared to make that phone call.
To reach out, absolutely. And especially for our community, it's not exactly something we're comfortable with, but it's absolutely something I would definitely recommend.
Now, would you say someone after reading this book will become empowered? to an extent?
To an extent, yes, I do.
That it's going to be a life lesson?
It's definitely a life lesson, especially for women, more so than boys. Boys, I think it will be more of a fun read, but for women, young girls, I think it will be a sense of empowerment. And I also think for parents, it will be maybe an insight to dealing with the situation differently than they might otherwise.
Right, so parents would be empowered. The actual young lady reading this book would be empowered.
Yes.
And that's the message that Amanda wants to convey, that, you know, empowerment to a woman out there is important to the success of your personal life and your personal growth. And the slipper will do just that. So we want to encourage you to go online to Amazon.com, or if you have Amazon Prime, it'll be at a cheaper cost. But it's a book that you must purchase as gifts to the young girls in your family, as gifts to, if you wanted to donate them to the libraries in Guyana, to orphanages in Guyana, to the schools in Guyana, the libraries at schools in Guyana, or even to the schools that your children attend. It would be a wonderful opportunity to purchase a book and donate to that library. So Amanda, in closing, what is your message, besides inviting everyone out there to come to the launch on October 11th at the Mingles between 4 to 7 p.m.? What is it you'd like to say in closing?
Well, I would like to thank you for moderating
My
this
pleasure.
event. It's an amazing opportunity that you've given us, and we're very grateful for this and the moderation. I would also like to thank Wahid from Mingles for doing the raffle for us and for opening up his place to us, for Buddy for doing the photography, for my sister for putting everything together. I mean, it's going to be an amazing event. It's definitely a dream come true for me. And I'm just appreciative all around.
Yeah, well, Amanda, good luck to you. And we look
Thank you
forward to
so
hearing more
much.
about the upcoming novel, Him. So we'll have you back on the show at a future date. But for
Wonderful.
now, we're all focused on the launch of your career as an author, right? And of course, the launch of The Slipper. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much,
And all the
Tanuja.
very best to you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.